There comes a time when parents, who once seemed invincible, begin to fade. The lines on their faces deepen, and so do the stories they tell. But listen closely. Sometimes those stories aren't exactly what they seem. They're not just about nostalgia or the fading of memories. Sometimes it's about something deeper, something more human. You see, as parents grow older, they start to see themselves differently. Once the protectors, the providers, the heroes of their children's world, now they feel time slipping through their fingers, and with that comes a fear of becoming forgotten, of becoming like expired money, worth something once but no longer useful. It's not just about memory loss. It's not even about misremembering. No, sometimes it's about protection. You see, parents don't always tell their children the full truth, not because they're trying to hide, no, but because they want to shield their children from the weight of their regrets, their mistakes, their flaws. They want to be remembered as the heroes they once were. It's a way to reach out, to remind their children they were strong once, that they mattered. In a world where they now feel fragile, vulnerable, they hold on to these stories, even reshape them, to keep that spark of heroism alive. Because what they fear more than anything is not being remembered, but being forgotten. Much like in that old film, 12 Angry Men, where the jurors wrestled with their memories, their truths, parents too, find themselves struggling with their own. They know they've aged, that their influence has waned, and it leaves them grasping for relevance in a world that seems to have moved on. Sometimes the stories change, not because they want to deceive, but because they want to hold on to the role they once played. Family dynamics change over time. The protectors become the protected, the pillars of strength now lean on others for support. And it's in this vulnerability that stories start to shift. Sometimes they're not about the past at all, but about recognition, about feeling important again. In those moments, the lines between truth and fiction blur, not because they've forgotten, but because they're trying to remind you and themselves that they still matter, that they're still here, still important. It's not always about the accuracy of the story, but the need behind it, the need to feel seen, to feel valued, to still be the hero in their child's eyes, even if the world no longer sees them that way. And so, they reach back into their memories, pulling out pieces that remind them and you that they once stood tall. So the next time the story doesn't quite fit, when the details seem a little too perfect, remember, it's not just a story, it's a way of holding on, a way of asking, do you still see me? And in the end, what matters most isn't the version of the past they tell. What matters is the love that fills the spaces between the words. Because even when the stories change, the connection remains. They may no longer be the heroes they once were, but to you, they'll always be.